You ever watch somebody win the biggest race of their life and just start crying in victory lane? That's exactly what happened Sunday night at Charlotte, and the reason behind those tears will absolutely break your heart. Daniel Suarez just won the Coca-Cola 600, but this win wasn't really about him. It was about a man who wasn't there to see it, a man named Kyle Busch. By now, you probably know the sad news. Kyle Busch, the two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, passed away last Thursday at just 41 years old. He got sick very suddenly with pneumonia that quickly turned into a serious infection, and he was gone before anyone could believe it. The whole racing world was still in shock when they showed up at Charlotte Motor Speedway for Sunday's race. So this wasn't just another Coca-Cola 600. This was a goodbye. NASCAR and Charlotte Motor Speedway did everything they could to honor Kyle. They painted his number 8 and his signature right onto the front stretch grass. There was a huge billboard near the main entrance with his face on it. The U.S. Army Golden Knights jumped out of a plane carrying a Kyle Busch flag. And every single one of the 39 cars in the race carried a small black number 8 decal on it. But the most emotional moment came before the race even started. Kyle's family came to the track. His wife Samantha and his young son Brexton stood on the grid, holding each other tight. His brother, NASCAR Hall of Famer Kurt Busch, walked out and laid white roses down in tribute. His father Tom was there too. Fans in the stands held up their hands, making the number 8 with their fingers. Grown men were crying. NASCAR CEO Steve O'Donnell walked over to the Busch family and told them something simple but powerful. He said they are part of the NASCAR family, and he told them, "We got you." Since Kyle couldn't be in his car, somebody had to take his place. Austin Hill stepped into a car for the race, but here's the thing. Hill didn't drive Kyle's number 8. He drove a number 33 instead. That's because Richard Childress Racing made a beautiful decision. They temporarily retired the number 8. And they're keeping it retired until Kyle's 11-year-old son Brexton is ready to drive it himself one day. Hill finished 26th in the race. Now let's get to the racing itself. The 67th running of the Coca-Cola 600 was wild from start to finish. Tyler Reddick led early. Then, a driver named Barry spun out on lap 35, bringing out the first yellow flag. Not long after that, there was a nasty crash. Austin Cindric got spun around, and Connor Zilisch came smashing into the side of his car. Both drivers were done for the day after only 52 laps. The defending champion Ross Chastain looked like he might steal the race for a while, but then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. clipped his car in turn 2, sending him into the wall with 81 laps to go. Two-time winner this year, Chase Elliott also had a rough day. He hit the outside wall, bounced into the inside wall on lap 90, and his car was destroyed. He finished 37th. Elliott took the blame himself, saying, "I was trying to make something happen and I stepped over the line." Even Richard Childress Racing's Austin Dillon, who many hoped might pull off an emotional win for Kyle's old team, had to park his damaged car with 56 laps to go. Meanwhile, Daniel Suarez was just hanging around. He started 14th and was honestly not even a factor for most of the race. Toyotas were dominating. Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and Tyler Reddick were the cars to beat. But then came the moment that changed everything. Suarez's crew chief, Ryan Sparks, made a bold gamble during a late pit stop. Instead of changing all 4 tires, he only changed 2. That got Suarez out front. Now he just had to hold on. And hold on, he did. Through 2 restarts, he kept those Toyotas behind him. Bell and Hamlin, teammates at Joe Gibbs Racing, threw everything they had at him. They couldn't get past. Then the skies opened up. Rain came pouring down right before midnight Eastern Time. NASCAR called the race with 27 laps still to go. Daniel Suarez was a Coca-Cola 600 winner. He beat Bell by just 0.6 of a second. His final time was 4 hours, 37 minutes, and 7 seconds. Christopher Bell was disappointed. He said, "It's a bummer. It wasn't meant to be today. That's 2026 for us." Denny Hamlin, who finished 3rd, said he was just a little unlucky. But the real story was just beginning, because for Daniel Suarez, this win meant so much more than a trophy. You see, Suarez became the first Mexican-born driver ever to win the Coca-Cola 600. It was only his third Cup Series win in his entire career, his first since 2024. His first in 82 races. By itself, that's a huge deal. But Suarez wasn't thinking about any of that. He was thinking about Kyle Busch. So when Suarez climbed out of his car in victory lane, tears in his eyes, he didn't talk about himself. He talked about Kyle. Holding the winner's flag, he said, "Kyle is the reason I'm here. He believed in me when the seats were empty. This one is for him. He's going through a lot, but he's still the GOAT in my eyes." Then he got even more emotional. Wiping away tears, he said, "Kyle, he was special. I was doing this for Kyle, for Samantha, for Brexton and Lennox, and for all of his family." And what he said next really shows you who Kyle Busch was as a person. Suarez explained, "He didn't have to help me. He didn't have to help this Mexican kid that can barely speak English. He was already a legend of the sport, and he took the time every single week to help me. Most people didn't know that side of him. I got to know that side of him. He made me want to be like him, wanting to help others. He was a role model." Now here's where it gets even more meaningful. The team Suarez drives for, Spire Motorsports, has Kyle Busch's fingerprints all over it. Spire actually races out of the old Kyle Busch Motorsports shop building. They bought it back in 2023. Their cars and trucks were carrying Kyle Busch Motorsports stickers all weekend. The team's co-owner, Jeff Dickerson, was actually Kyle's very first sports agent. He was also Kyle's spotter for years. And get this, Kyle was driving those same Spire trucks to victory lane just 6 days before he died. He won at Dover the weekend before. So, in a way, Spire winning this race was Kyle winning this race. Dickerson put it perfectly when he said, "Kyle is in the fabric of our place." For Daniel Suarez, this was the culmination of a long, hard road. He had been bouncing between teams for years. Joe Gibbs Racing, Stewart Haas Racing, Trackhouse. Last year, he finished 29th in points. He honestly thought his career was over. He admitted, "At one point, I thought my career was going to be over, but I never stopped believing in myself." Sunday night, he proved he was right to keep believing, and he made sure the world knew exactly who helped him get there. And maybe that's what made this win so beautiful. Two men who weren't supposed to make it, one who came from Mexico barely speaking English, told over and over he didn't belong, and one who took the time to help him anyway, when nobody else would. Kyle Busch may be gone, but every time Daniel Suarez climbs into that car, a little piece of Kyle is right there with him. Sunday night at Charlotte, the whole world got to see it.